Hello everybody, what is up, Proptoast here? As you can see, we got two Nintendo Switches here. One being the OG Switch, the second one being the version 2 Switch. So we're going to go ahead, this one's already been unboxed on the channel, so I'm just kind of using this to kind of compare the boxes and all that fancy stuff. But we're going to go ahead and unbox the new one, check it out, see if there's really any differences, which most likely there's not. But just kind of do a little side-by-side comparison, see, screen brightness, darkness, all that fancy stuff. So let's go ahead, get to it, and check these guys out. Alright, so here we are with the two boxes right here. As you can see, for the most part, they're pretty much the exact same width and height. There's not really any difference in size. But as you can see, of course, on the front, they kind of slightly change the design. As you notice, the big old red background and everything. And of course, this one you have both Joy-Cons in, this one's just slightly out. So nothing too crazy there. Now we got the side, which basically, for the most part, kind of the same, but also slightly different. They just kind of show different pictures. See anything on this side? Oh, never mind, I see. So these sides, yeah, pretty much the same. You switch around over here, and yeah, so they didn't change much on there. And we got the back, which you can definitely tell they have changed quite a bit, which this one just shows, hey look, you can take the Joy-Cons out of the system. This one's like, hey look, you can do multiplayer with two different Joy-Cons. Isn't that crazy? But yeah, so that's pretty much the main differences. Nothing too crazy. The insides of the box are exactly the same. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way and go ahead and get our main Switch right here and unbox it. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead, open this bad boy up and check it out. So of course you're first greeted, of course, with the system itself, the two Joy-Cons. So, taking a look at the system, as you can see, it looks the exact same thing as just the regular Nintendo Switch. So the main difference being, I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera or not. So if it is the newer one, you should see the mod hack 0011, then it should be the -01. So that's how you know, but pretty much you're going to know in store if you get the red box, that's going to be the Model 2. Alright, so taking that out to the side, of course, we're also greeted with our newer Joy-Cons, which, for the most part, they pretty much feel the same. Of course, these are the newer ones, because the ones that are on this one, these are kind of like the Model 1s. You'll know because I'm not even going to try to show it on camera just because of how hard it is, but pretty much you'll see the JCR C2 somewhere along this one. Like I said, it's really hard to make out. And then on the newer ones, you're going to go ahead and see the, I'm trying to do this on camera, which is not easy, but you're going to go ahead and see the JCR C3. So these are actually the new models, which they kind of improve stuff. So I don't know if the whole drift thing that's been going around has been fixed on these. I don't know, I've never actually experienced it, but yeah, so let's go ahead and put that over to the side and not accidentally drop it. So we're gonna go take that out. Take our second Joy-Con. Like I said, it's pretty much feel the same. Some may vary and stuff. So I'll go ahead and put those in and get this out of the way. So we're gonna go ahead, open up. That was actually just nothing under. I thought there was instruction manuals, but so go ahead, take that out. We're greeted with our little Joy-Con straps, which I don't know. The first ones I had didn't really, they're kind of a pain in the ass to actually fit on. And of course, we're greeted with our paperwork, health and safety, blah blah blah. Nobody reads it. And of course, we got our newer, fancier. Well, it's not really fancier. It's pretty much the exact same thing. It just feels newer because it's not all worn out like my other one. Because the other one was sitting in the backpack for a while, so it looks kind of, messed up. But it would have been cool if they added a little charging, but the Joy-Con batteries last so freaking long, it doesn't even matter. And let's see, trying to figure out, there it is. Okay, I was gonna say, where's our second little strap thing? I know that should be in there. But of course, we're greeted with our power brick, which is the exact same thing as the last model. So nothing too new or crazy there. And of course, we got our special Nintendo HDMI cable. And we got the dock right here, which I'm going to go ahead and say it's the exact same thing. It probably just feels fancier and newer, but here we got the dock. Like I said, definitely, your standard looking one. As far as I can tell, I'd have to look at model numbers and all that stuff. Maybe it's different, I don't know, but as far as I'm aware, it's the same thing. Let's see, we still got our USB-C, USB 3, HDMI in there, all that fancy stuff. So let's go ahead and now take a look side by side of the Nintendo Switch version 1 and version 2. So you can see we got our two models. If you were kind of just looking at it, you wouldn't really be able to tell too much of the difference, but I can tell because I got the screen protector in this one, so not too bad. But I was saying before, as you see on the old Switch, you'll see it just says the mod hack 001. So that's why you can tell, of course, the one I got is the newer one and all that. So let's go ahead, turn both of these guys on. I don't know if they load any faster, but let's see, 3, 2, 1, go. Pretty sure they both boot up at the exact same rate. Though this one might be moving just a little bit faster because I sat there and actually, you know, transferred all the profiles and save data over to this one, so this one actually has a lot more crap on it compared to this. So that might be a bit of difference right now, but as far as that, yeah, I mean the screens, as far as I can tell, seem pretty decently the same and stuff. I can't tell too big of a difference between them. But let me go ahead and actually dim the lights real quick so we can actually, you know, check out the screens a little bit more in depth. Alright, so here you got the screens. So from, I was looking up on stuff, supposedly this one can get a lot dimmer. So that's full dimness on this guy. So actually, you know, to be honest, it looks like they both, well, actually, let's see. If I can tell, it's kind of side by side. I think this one's, oh, they both seem like they get pretty decently dim. Let's check out the brightness on this. So this is a Model 1 right here. Crap, I just realized I can't see crap. So that's max brightness on this guy. Then we got our Model 2. So our max brightness on him. So as far as I can see, I don't know if it's just a camera or not, but for the most part, it's pretty decently bright. As far as I could tell, just by like screen, they both look pretty good and stuff. Maybe this one, I don't know, could just be because it's newer, but it looks slightly more. But other than that, nothing too crazy, nothing like insane going on with that way. So yeah, so for the most part, it's like cosmetically, you're not going to notice too big of a difference. I thought, I was reading it and some people were saying like, hey man, I think the newer one gets more dim, but I think it's just pretty much, hey, you got a newer Switch and everything's gonna seem, oh, that's completely different from my old one, right? So for most part, the main thing you're getting out of this is they got the new, I think it's the Tegra 1 chip, I could be completely freaking wrong, but they pretty much put a newer chip in there. The battery sizes is actually the same on both of these. Everybody seems to think that they put a larger capacity battery in there, but what it is the Model 2 right here actually has, you know, a more power efficient chip. So the reason why you're getting so much more battery life is basically because the system is not having to use as much resources and all that. And so from what I was reading, it's also supposed to run a little bit cooler. So not too bad as far as I've seen. Performance wise, it's not going to like run a game any faster frame rate, or it's not going to load it any faster. But compared to what I was looking at, those studies, pretty much if you're to run Smash and do like, I don't know, 15 bot Smash on it or something like that, let it run for like hours on max brightness, pretty much this one would cut out at like 2.3 hours, and this one will cut out at 4.3 hours. And then same thing with putting on YouTube, max brightness, this one do 2.5, this one do 4 hours 50 minutes. So pretty decent increase in battery life and everything. And then I know some games you can get almost up to 9 hours, which is freaking ridiculous. And also if you bring your power adapter, then yeah, you're gonna have pretty much on the 3DS level of, you know, battery life. So definitely pretty awesome, especially seeing that, you know, this is a whole portable console you can take with you. But yeah, other than that, as you can see, pretty similar. The only difference is with the kickstand on the newer one, I actually had to switch it off my old one, because when I took it off, see if it does on this one, it was just kind of weird because I sit there and did it. Well, see, it works a little bit more normally on this one, but when I did it on this Switch, it just felt like really loose and weird, so I put my old one on there, and it's actually a lot more tight, which I don't know why. I've noticed between different people it varies. I've seen some people on YouTube talk how their kickstand is really loose, and then, oh man, I think they fixed the kickstand on the new ones because it's really tight. No, it's really kind of a luck of the draw. It's either you're going to get one with a really nice kickstand or one with a really loose one. So nothing too different. So, but at least in charging wise, even if you are getting more battery, it should be the exact same thing. As far as I know, the Wi-Fi is pretty much the same on it. We got the same grill, but you shouldn't. I know some of the OG Model 1 switches, like from launch, had cracking issues along there because of heat. So it should be lessened on this one because of the fact that it's not putting out as much heat and all that. So definitely pretty cool. But other than that, like I said, yeah, it's pretty much the only main difference is the fact that these are, of course, a Model 2 switch and the newer Joy-Con. So I think they moved around some stuff with the antennas to fix a few certain things. Other than that, yeah, so far, as far as I've seen, I haven't got a chance to test out games, but just recently last night, I had it off the charger with downloading all my full titles. As you can see, what was it? If I get into my game section, I pretty much went through, downloaded all my full game titles along with all the updates to every one of the carts, which took a while of me switching in and out carts over and over and over. But pretty much I did all that, let it download, downloaded full games and all that, and pretty much it brought to like 46%, and I left it off the charger the entire night. So definitely not too bad. I'd say the battery life on it's pretty good. I did the whole transfer, so I got all profiles, I got all my pictures and all that. Everything's good. Thank God I saved my videos because these are very important videos. As you can see, very important. So I'm glad that I could at least save those during the transfer. So yeah. So that's about it I got for the video. Like I said, just in case you're thinking that, hey, is this worth an upgrade? I would definitely say depends. Are you happy with your battery life? If you really want to have battery life, I'd say go ahead. But if you're thinking that buying the new one's going to be, oh, so much better, it's going to like load games quicker, it's going to do this, that, like, no, you're essentially just going to run cooler and you're going to get better battery life. But like I said, it'll be probably decently worth it if you were going to trade in your old Switch, maybe a couple games, then yeah, you could probably get it for maybe 100, which is not too bad. But other than that, if you're pretty much fine with your old Switch, I wouldn't say upgrade to it right away, unless you really want the extra battery life. If you're pretty much someone who uses it docked all the time, probably wouldn't matter. But if you're someone who actually, you know, takes it out and about, takes it either to work or if you're going somewhere and you need it for long periods of time, then yeah, it would probably be worth it for the battery. But other than that, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.